Big Brother Mzansi has produced many unforgettable housemates over the years, but none have left a mark quite like Ashley Ogle and Sweet Galuva. Both individuals entered the house with distinct personalities, life stories, and dreams. Yet, despite their different paths, they have become two of the most influential figures in the history of the show and among the most impactful reality TV personalities in South Africa. Their influence doesn't stem solely from popularity or trends. It comes from authenticity, consistency, and the powerful connection they created with viewers across the country. Ashley and Galuva didn't just entertain. They inspired, educated, and challenged narratives through their presence and choices on the show. Ashley Ogle came into the house as a young woman determined to stand in her truth. Her confidence, emotional intelligence, and strong sense of identity won the admiration of viewers almost instantly. She wasn't loud or forceful. She was firm, graceful, and unapologetically herself. South Africans from all walks of life connected with her story because it reflected the experiences of countless women navigating life with strength and grace. What set Ashley apart was her emotional clarity. She wasn't afraid to show vulnerability, nor did she shy away from uncomfortable conversations. She navigated conflict with maturity and made it clear that being soft did not mean being weak. Her journey in the house was more than entertainment. It was a lesson in self-respect, calm power, and leadership rooted in empathy. Ashley's impact expanded beyond the house after the season ended. She didn't chase controversy for relevance. Instead, she stayed grounded, using her platform to uplift others. Whether it was through motivational posts, collaborations with women-led brands, or her appearances at empowerment events, Ashley made it clear that her mission was not fame, it was impact. She chose to be a positive force, and people felt that sincerity. Her fan base, lovingly called the Ashes, grew rapidly. But more than numbers, they became a community, united by shared values of resilience, authenticity, and kindness. Through Ashley, they found not just a star to admire, but a role model who led with example and intention. Her meet and greets turned into safe spaces for conversations, not just photo ops. She became a mirror for many, especially young women, who saw in her a possibility of rising from anything and walking forward with pride. On the other side stood Sweet Galuva, a powerhouse in his own right. From the moment he entered the Big Brother Mzansi house, Galuva brought with him a unique energy. He was confident, expressive, and unfiltered, but never reckless. His charm wasn't about playing to the cameras. It came from his deep connection with where he came from and the pride he carried in his identity. Galuva's influence grew because he represented the everyday South African who had big dreams but never forgot his roots. He wasn't trying to be someone else. His stories, his humor, and his vulnerability made him relatable. Whether he was talking about his upbringing, his vision for the future, or the lessons he'd learned, Galuva reminded viewers that it was possible to dream loudly and live boldly. His growth on the show was another reason fans stayed loyal. Viewers witnessed his emotional evolution, how he handled criticism, how he learned from others, and how he took responsibility when needed. He never pretended to be perfect. Instead, he showed that growth was possible, and that was more powerful than any polished image. His fan base, made up of people from diverse backgrounds, saw in him a brother, a son, a friend, someone they genuinely rooted for. After the show, Galuva didn't disappear. He stayed active, using his platform to engage with youth organizations, appear at local events, and support initiatives in his community. His influence extended far beyond social media. He became an example of how reality TV could launch a person into purpose, not just popularity. What makes both Ashley and Galuva so unique is that their influence is based on substance. In a world where virality often trumps values, they've chosen depth over drama. They didn't need scandals to stay relevant. They didn't need to pretend to be someone else. They stayed true, and the country responded with respect and admiration. Brands, media personalities, and social movements began to see their influence and wanted to be associated with them. not just for reach, but because of the values they represented. Ashley and Galuva became the kind of voices you invite to a panel, not just a party. Their stories had weight. Their voices had power. In interviews, public appearances, and even online posts, they never forgot to mention the role of their supporters. Both housemates made it clear that their rise was a shared journey. They honored the people who voted, prayed, defended, and celebrated them. That humility kept their image clean and their support system intact. Their paths also reflect the changing face of South African youth culture. Young people want representation that feels real. They want influencers who speak their language, understand their struggles, and don't sell them a dream that's unattainable. Ashley and Guluva became that representation. Not just faces on a screen, but reflections of what is possible when you lead with honesty and courage. In many ways, their success represents a cultural shift. Big Brother Mzansi had long been known for its drama and entertainment value. But Ashley and Galuva reminded everyone that reality TV could also be a platform for change, healing, and growth. Their stories became part of a bigger national conversation about resilience, identity, and purpose. Today, their impact continues to grow. Ashley has been invited to speak at panels centered around mental wellness, women's rights, and youth empowerment. She hasn't claimed to have all the answers, but she shows up with her story and a heart that's ready to help others heal. Sweet Galuva has lent his voice to campaigns focused on education, men's health, and entrepreneurship. His background and honesty have made him a favorite among grassroots organizations and community leaders. Their influence has also extended into media circles. Magazines, television shows, and online publications have highlighted their growth stories, not just as housemates, but as young South Africans with meaningful contributions. They are often referenced in conversations about representation, character, and what it means to stand out in a saturated digital world. Ashley's partnership with community development programs has seen her visit schools and women's shelters where she offers her time and presence to uplift others. She doesn't need cameras to do that work. It's a reflection of her values. Her story continues to motivate people to own their truth and fight through setbacks. Galuva's passion for youth mentorship has become a central part of his influence. He is not only admired for being on TV, but for how he speaks about accountability, learning, and legacy. His openness about his journey has made him an ally to those trying to navigate similar paths. He's not just a media figure. He's a voice of the streets, and people listen. What further cements their impact is how they've remained rooted despite fame. Fame didn't change their essence. It amplified it. They continue to show up in ways that inspire trust. In a society where public figures are often scrutinized, Ashley and Galuva have remained authentic and respectful of their audience. Their influence cannot be measured solely in likes, comments, or followers. It's felt in how they've inspired others to be better. It's seen in how people talk about them when cameras aren't rolling. It's heard in classrooms, in community centers, and even in households where young people look to them as examples of success that's built on integrity. They've each charted individual paths but remain connected in the hearts of South Africans who watch them grow, stumble, rise, and lead. Their names will be remembered not just as housemates, but as movement makers. Proof that when you stay true to who you are, you don't just win a show. You win hearts. Their stories are still unfolding. But what is certain is this: Ashley Ogle and Sweet Galuva are no longer just Big Brother Mzansi alumni. They are voices. They are examples. They are the most influential housemates South Africa has ever seen. Thank you.